All right, this one. I did like 3 of these already. Ah, okay. This week, yeah, I did like 3 or something like that. Or this is the third one, maybe. Uh, so the snow is coming. I can't. Why can't I change cameras? Fucking drives me crazy. I just want to flip the camera around so I can show you the fucking mountain. Looking miserable. Okay, so um great. Yeah, so Kaylee came by today at 9 a.m. She said she had to come back into town to vote. And she said, "Oh, you've been hitting up my friends recently." And I was like, "You mean my friends?" Or, they're not your friends. She's like, "Oh, so you're like just gonna be like the 27-year-old that hangs out with a whole bunch of 22 years old?" And I was like, "Just because I'm 27 doesn't mean that I'm 27. Like, the amount of growth that I've gone through, it's not a lot." uh, yeah, I might be like 27 in age, but definitely not 27 in years of like experience. I would say that a lot of the people that I want to hang around are older than I am, even though they're like 22 or 23, 24, whatever. Just metaphorically speaking. But that was just really shitty that she said that. Because then it makes me feel like she talked to them about that and they actually don't want to hang around me, which is probably true. And then she said that I should go on Craigslist and tell people I need friends. What the fuck? Yeah. And she was like laying on me. Mm. So the reason I started the camera here is because I wanted to just like talk about Kaylee, because it's like when I started hanging out with her, I was like, well, this is a person that'll be my friend. I suppose we kind of are, but the thing is that we value different things. So when I started hanging out with her, I was like, maybe I like her friends, and maybe her friends will hang out with me, and we'll all be friends. So yeah, they started out as her friends, and then I met them, and I was like, I hope these people like me, so we can hang out. And then I really feel like Kaylee like took over, like sort of. I don't. I've never asked them about this. This is just something that I assume, but I assume that she kind of like took over and like didn't want other people inviting me out because I belong to her, and it's very much like I belong to her, or that's what the way that she felt. And of course, I don't want that. It's weird. And I just like her less and less nowadays, especially because she just like I feel like I was completely non valuable and like just used as a sexual tool for the entire year. And yeah, we like did some things with our parents, but I feel like it's more along the lines of her parents being like, "Okay, let's go do this and bring CJ. You can bring him." And Kaylee's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And we've had like a few good times, but even so, I really do feel like for the most part, I was like not. She always treated me as if she was entitled to Um, just like me and the things that I would do for her. Um, as if I didn't do those things, then something, like, then she would be like mad a little bit and upset. And the thing about all that is that I think I did it to myself, really. I was like being overly nice and giving all the time. And then she came to expect it. But the thing is that I also expected for the entire year her to reciprocate, um, you know, actions and just being nice, I guess. Every time I wake up, I've got this shit in my corner of my mouth. I'm so gross. I'm sorry. Sorry. I know I'm a nasty dude. But okay, so uh and eventually like it got to the point where I would ask her a favor or ask her to do something and it just would never get done or she would never bother to do it and she would forget about it and never talk about it. So it's like especially like sexually I would like get her off between like 2 and 5 times every time and it's not like a simple task. I mean it's a simple task but it takes a while sometimes, most of the time, especially because we drink so much. But then it's like the amount of effort that was reciprocated was vastly balanced in like my workload. I would always be doing all of the work. And then like if I asked her to do something, she'd be like, no. And it was never like a big deal, just like, I don't know. Just ride me for a few minutes, please. I just got you off 3 times, so you might be tired, but then you want to get off again? Like, woof, come on. Or, it's like, she invited me out to her place a few times, and we, like, hung out with her friends or whatever, and they had, like, soup or, like, a wine party. And I know that I was never, like, really, very much appreciated there that much because I have, like, no political knowledge at all. But then I think people, I don't know, I just crack jokes. And Erin always said that I was funny. I don't know if she meant it or not. It's more like that is your best trait, even though it's not a very strong trait, regardless. Um, I suppose what I really was just highly cynical, and then I would like kind of prod people and be, like, um, I don't know, like look at your own opinion. Is it doing you any good and whatever? I don't know. Ask them questions to make them question, sort of thing. That was just kind of like the thing that I did. Besides, like, just noodle on the guitar there all the time and sit in the corner. But, I don't know. I think originally just thought the main thing is that I wanted to be friends with her and I wanted to, like, stick my foot in the door and get to meet other people and hang out with them too. But then it just never happened. And I'm not like I can't actually draw that conclusion that it was Cayley's fault and like she didn't like she prevented them from inviting me and things like that. But I did see it once. But yeah, now that I think of it, that was Claire Menahan, and it was on Cayley's birthday. I think she had a birthday party at her place, and I was talking with Claire Menahan in the kitchen, and pretty sure she had a boyfriend, which is whatever. And she, like, every time that we hung out at, like, gatherings of some sort, she'd always be like, we should play music together. And I was like, yeah, we should play music. I'd like that. And then it like, she pulls Claire away and, like, puts her against the wall and is mad at her. And I didn't need to listen to the conversation to know exactly what was going on, except for that I heard her like threatening her basically, like if you ever touch him or whatever, if you ever fucking, because Claire's cute, I'd love to hang out with her, but I'm pretty sure Cayley kind of uh, even though I've hit Claire up like 2 or 3 times since we broke up earlier this year, Claire's never wanted to do anything. And I just don't see how that could change just by magic. Like, she wanted to hang out, and then she didn't. She wanted to hang out, and then Cayley fucking, I can't remember, like, the term is, like, set their pants on fire or whatever, I don't know. Lit a fire underneath her ass. I think that's the term. But, yeah, she doesn't want to hang out because I am almost certain that Cayley threatened her to never, like, talk to me, basically, or, like, never flirt with me, whatever. And I flirt for fun. Like, everybody knows that I'm just kind of, I just say nice things and shit like that just because I think it's funny. I don't actually mean it most of the time. But, so, there's that one. And then, of course, like, I don't know if it's me. I imagine that it is partly me and that people just know me as like a manic depressive sort of weirdo. Who babysits Cayley all the time. And so like when I messaged people on the weekend of Halloween, like, I imagine that is a very appropriate time to message pretty much anyone and ask what they're doing. Because it's like a holiday. Everybody's going to be doing something. And I think I got, on the original, like, Friday night or Saturday night, excuse me, I had no messages. Nobody texted me back. And I must have texted 10 people. That was kind of hurtful. Like, wow. How come nobody's texting me at all? And then I think on the next sort of like hangout time, which was like closer to Halloween on Wednesday, I messaged a few more people again. And I think Natalie got back to me and was like, oh yeah, there's one at Free Cycles. And then Maisie got back to me and said that she was hanging out with someone else. And that was it. So, like, 2 out of 10 people or whatever. That's pretty shitty. So, yeah, when Cayley came here today, just like when she came, or when she, like, hit me up not a few weeks ago, because she was drunk at her house, and wanted me to come over. I just didn't feel very good. I just really don't want to hang out with her very much. Because she doesn't make me feel very good. She kind of, just kind of puts me down a little bit. Kind of makes me feel useless, like a tool. And worthless, pretty much. It's like I have no use to her unless I only hang out with her. And even more so, I have no use to her unless I'm fucking her. So, I just don't think that we're actually friends. I don't think that's how that works. So, yeah, there's a few of my things that I kind of wanted to just say. I don't know. It's mostly that. It's mostly about, like, the sex, which might I remind the viewer and myself here, was never good. Not never, like, occasionally it was okay. But it was never something that I was into. was like, I do like to please people. That's like my main thing that gets me off. I like to get them off and make them feel good, and then I just like that. But that's like the only thing that I got out of that. Because it just wasn't that good. I don't think the chemistry was there. And that, like, it's. To me, that also goes to show how much more effort I put into this because I didn't enjoy it. And she didn't put any effort to make me enjoy it. She never knew that. I couldn't tell her that I don't think that we have chemistry and I don't like having sex very much. But then, like, she would do it. She would, like, fucking be like, fuck me, like 3 or 4 or 5 times a week. And eventually I was like, we gotta fucking chill a little bit. Because it's just fucking, like, monotonous when you do it every fucking day. Let there be a little more tension. That's the good stuff. So, yeah. Due to that, due to her never putting in effort, like, I would, she would sit on the bed and be on her phone, like, during a certain period for, like, several months, and I was like, you gotta do something besides that, man. And I would be not playing games sometimes. I know that I play a lot of games, but I would be like playing guitar or something, and I was like, you gotta get out of the fucking bed and off your phone and do something else. And I tried to, like, there was at least 2 or 3 times over the course of the year that I tried to make like a healthier sort of relationship, sort of get up where like I wasn't playing games. I quit playing games for a month, and I had my PC off. Well, it was mining actually, but I wasn't using it for a month, and I was like doing other things. And during this period was one of the periods when she was just sitting on her phone doing nothing. And it's like, she's so inconsiderate. So I know that I'm cold, but I don't think that I'm necessarily inconsiderate. I think that I do consider the way that other people perceive, maybe not me necessarily, but the way that other people are enjoying things, or the way, like, the things that they need to do, to you know, just the things that they need to do in general, like at work, you know, like, I know that you need to do said things, and I, like, even though I'm lazy and I don't want to, I'll still help people out and things like that, you know, like, I think that I am mildly considerate is what I'm trying to say. But then it goes both ways, and by that I mean, like, if you are, as a very extreme metaphor, if you're starving, if you haven't eaten all day and you would say you're starving, probably the person that you don't want to complain to is a kid from Ethiopia who's actually starving, right? Or like somebody who's homeless. In that sense, what I'm saying is, like, if you want to mope on my bed about how you have to take another class to graduate college and you're not going to graduate with your friends, and it's going to be another 3 months, probably the person that you want to complain to is not me. The guy who dropped out twice, only once of his own accord. The guy who values education and would gladly go take that class for you. That was kind of the tipping point at the end. When that happened and she was like complaining about that, I was like, um, yeah, this has gone on too long and too far, and I don't want to be her emotional support because she's not considering who she's talking to, and she doesn't consider how I feel. It just occurred to me, actually. I was going to see that therapist a few months, like earlier in the year, after we broke up, actually, like during the summer. I was going to partnership and I was seeing a therapist who was not a good match for me. But it took so long to get started that I didn't want to restart that process just to have to go through it again. Like, it was, like, there was mild progress, but I know that if I had a therapist that was a better match for me, somebody who understood what I was saying instead of, like, trying to pick apart the things in ways that I didn't intend them to be said. Like, you could say something, and sometimes it has like several interpretations, and you mean it in a specific way, of course, but then they do it like they interpret it the other way, and I would be like, no, that's not the way that I meant it. You're not listening to me. And he would be like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. I didn't mean it like that. I meant it this way. And that was just like such a thing for like all the sessions. I felt like he wasn't listening. And most of all, I felt like he wasn't. I know that it's his job, but I really felt like he didn't care. And that's fine if you don't care, but you should fake it a little bit. um, yeah, I really felt like he was just going through the motions. But the thing that I'm getting on at here is that I would always be one step ahead of him. And I'd be like, okay, I know what you're going to say here. And I know. And he'd be like, of course, like, what he said was that you know too much. And I think that he thought that I was going to be fine. But, I'm 27. And I don't know if I'm fine or if I've ever been fine. I'd probably say mostly not, to be honest. When I was fine, I always felt like those were highlights that I've clung to for such a long time, that I've enjoyed. And there are so few of those. Like, I can't even think of more than, like, a few. like, like times when I was doing good that that just goes to show that I probably wasn't fine. I don't want to say that. I want to be like, yeah, I'm fine, whatever, I'm fine. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I wasn't. I don't think I was. But okay, it's just a shitty thing to say. Anyhow, the reason I got onto the therapist thing is because I would always be one step ahead of him, and he said, you know too much. And I said that I think that I would be a good therapist. I think that I could really talk people through the issues. And then I realized that doing this, I get more things done in less time because I'm asking the questions that need to be asked. And he's not asking like the stupid what if questions that didn't need to be asked, and like the questions getting to know me that I already know. So what I'm saying is that this here is much better therapy for me, I think, than what was happening there. To be fair, it was basically, I think I do have a bill in the mail or something, but it was basically free. And if it's not free, I could still send my parents a bill because they may not want to pay for anything else, but I will make them pay for that. So, yeah, I felt pretty shitty when Kaylee left this morning. A little bit like Stockholm Syndrome. Because when she left, I was like, oh, well, I wish she would come back, actually. But then, yeah, I just don't feel good when she's around. Because she, like, laid on top of me, and I could feel her, like, legs on my leg. It's like, and she would be like, you're so cute. Oh. And that's fine. I like getting compliments, but just because she's saying that, like, the reason that I give somebody else a compliment is genuinely because I like to see them and their reaction. And I like if I can make somebody go, "Oh, well, thank you. That's really nice thing to say." Or like I really felt like I needed that. That's to me that's very deeply satisfying, and I do it too much. So nowadays, people at work just kind of like smile and they go, "Oh, CJ's doing his thing again," or he just compliments you and it's stupid. Um, yeah, I do that. And I know that they just think it's funny or whatever, or goofy. Especially around Megan. I love to tease Megan. But when Kaylee says things like that, she's not doing that for my benefit. That's the difference. She's just like doing that, like brain dead, observing. Oh, I just wish you would fuck me. Um, that's what she's saying. So it doesn't really feel good when she says things like that. Yeah. So my finger itches. Sorry, I'm acting like a weirdo. I suppose I'm even more hurt now that we're broken up and I said I genuinely hope that we can still be friends. And she has not invited me out anywhere. She did invite me to Goodwill this morning, but it felt like too little too late. Like it has been the better part of a year. And maybe she just needed some time to like recoup and recover. But even so, like she had a party at her place, and I was not invited. But she still wanted to fuck me after. So yeah, in a nutshell, like I've said many times, she just doesn't make me feel good. I just feel kind of depressed when she's around because of the things that she says and the way that she treats me. Yeah, so we're not gonna fuck again unless I get real desperate, but I really don't want to do that again. So I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Not a lot else. Okay. Bye bye.